There's a website that is very, very interesting that I feel like you guys should also know. I think Adobe Font also does that. Let me just search online. If you don't know before now, just let me go to Google and just type font. There's a website called Font Pairing, actually. Font Pairing. There's a website known as Font Pairing, I think. Font Pair. This is the bad guy here. Now go ahead to open that guy up. And then you see that here you can combine font. This font is going to tell you, if you use this font to this font, this is how it's going to look like. Look at you are creating a business card, for example, the name of the CEO, telling us this is the founder and the CEO. How do you combine them together such that they make sense? Because you're a beginner, you might want to leverage on this a little bit, but after a while, you now see that you have gotten a hang of it, right? In fact, from visually, look at my design here. Let me do it for you visual. Let us be practical. Let's go hands-on. I'll go ahead to create an artboard here. I have something to discuss here. I can go ahead to take everything off. In fact, let's take everything off on this board. So I'll go ahead to get my welcome address. Definitely, I'll not want to use this anyways, but I'll use something else today. Let's say I'm combining this font here. I'm combining this font here through Times New Roman, and I need something that's going to be like a body copy. What do I call body copy? If I have welcome here, you need something that's going to show like a description text, something like this, and I need something to be this. What can I use in terms of this? For my off my head now, definitely something like Ephra will work. Ephra will work in this kind of situation. Ephra light, and I'll just go ahead to increase the font size a little bit. Maybe I'm going to take every other thing off from this end. Ephra would work for me. This is Ephra in action. Now, because I have used a serif font, I think I'm using the word correct. Yes, a serif font. Because I have used a serif font, look at it. My welcome is a serif font. Because I have used it, usually, like rule of thumb, like basic rule of using a font. Whenever you are using a serif font, please combine with a non-serif font. I'm talking about using a sans-serif font. A sans-serif font example is what? Ephra here. Right? I can use Ephra, for example. Look at Ephra. Look at how Ephra is looking. Let me go ahead and uncheck. I don't want hyphenate, and I'll go ahead to reduce this a little bit more. In fact, I don't want to be more than 3 lines. So let's put it around here and take everything off up to this end. Right? Take everything off up to this end. I'm just being practical here, guys. I know that our time is fast spent. So go ahead to add this guy here. Look at this font here. I'm using dummy text, so don't expect me to type anything here. So I'll call it, let me call it Allen Avenue. Right? Allen Avenue. Let's say that's the topic of our discussion today. I'll use them in two rows. Now you can see that the space between the two texts is too much. That's what we call leading. I'll go ahead to reduce it. Bring it back a little bit. I like it like this, and I'll put it to text. But maybe I should not even do 2 lines actually. Let me do just a single line text. I'll go ahead to bring it back on top. Allen Ikeja. Let me use Allen, Ikeja. That's the location. How do you now get to Allen Ikeja office? This is a description text about that. Let's say that we have a lot of item 7 in learning. So I'll put this here. That's Allen Ikeja. But this time I'm not using serif font anymore. This time let's say I'm using a sans-serif font. Let's say I'm using Acumen Pro. Don't let me use Acumen. Let me use Montserrat. But let me use a display font. I have one display font that's usually look very nice for me every now and then. So I'll go ahead to the very top of my font list. I'll look for, don't worry. It's just around the corner here. Don't worry. Almost there. Wa alaikum salam, engineer. All right, sir. So this is what we have. I'm combining fonts here. So depending on what you are trying to do, let's say I'm using a sans-serif font. I want to use one bold font. Let me say I'm using that Bibas. Bibas, no. As what Allen Ikeja. Let's reduce the size a little bit. Let's say now I can use a sans-serif font for this one. Let me use which one would go well with this? From the list off the top of my head, I think I'll use Bespoke. Let's use Bespoke. Bespoke is also not bad, looking nice. Because I'm using a random font, maybe you're not seeing the effect, but depending on the kind of font you're using, I always advise you that when you're using a sans-serif font as the header, go for a you can use, if I still use Efra here, it will still work, it will still look nice. But combining fonts requires you to play around a different type of font. You can see Eva New here. You can see the kind of font that is being used. In just mono. These fonts are some funny name. I don't know if that's the pronunciation. I have Inter and then Intercosolata, looking nice as well. But these are presets. If you're a beginner, if you're trying to combine, this is how you just go ahead to use one of them, combine it with the next one, and then you are looking good. We also have color combination also in the background here. How do you use font? How do you combine them? Either for your mobile design, for your website design, for graphics design, they are all here. So you can decide to use or combine a font. You can explore. This is the two fonts that I use in this design. If you over on this one, these are the two fonts that I use in this design. Their names are there already. Right. Apart from that, there is another website that even does this even better. I'll open this one too. On this one, you can even enter your own font. So let's say the font that I'm trying to use, look at the combination. Look at the combination for this one. Look at how nice it's looking. This is Bibas New. Can you see Bibas New here? And look at the font that was used. And Nonito Regular. It's also nice. This also is a sans-serif font, and both of them are looking nice, right? This is also a bold font. And look at the copy. It's looking sharp and nice, right? Everything is looking good. This is just trying to show you, like giving you an head start into how you use and combine different fonts together. And you can see up to all these even blocky fonts that are funny to use. They also have their own use as well. They can be used in different type of scenes and design. Don't let me dwell so much on this. You can see also a script font here. A script font here, you can see that it's also combined with a sans-serif font, and it's just looking nice. Also a script font here, looking nice. And you can keep scrolling this page. You see different fonts to use. If I want to try my own luck now, I can go ahead to say, for my header, I'm trying to use, let's say I'm using Sacramento. And I want to use for the body, I want to use for the body, I want to call it maybe, I want to use, let me see, Efra. Let me use Efra again. Efra. So now this is me. Okay, I'm just changing the text here. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to actually look for a font to use. I can reset it. Let me go into one of them. Inside the font, I'll go ahead to. Now, if you find any font that you want to use, you can definitely select and use, but I want to actually use mine. Let me see. Can I see that? Your text, your category, personality, pairing, your font. I don't think there's Sacramento on this website. There's no Sacramento on this website. That font, that Sacramento is the name of the font. I have it on here. If I go ahead select this and go ahead say Sacramento. So this is Sacramento here. It's going to come up. It's the name of the font basically. It's a script. It's a script font as well. Can you see it here? So depending on what you are trying to do, different fonts are available and you can combine them in different ways. One of those websites I actually took on that shows you how to combine is this one, font share, font this one, font that one. I have something better. There's one that I used to use a lot, and I can font joy. Let me see this font joy. On that font joy, you can enter your own font yourself. I think this is it. You can enter your own font. I can change the text myself, definitely, but I can also generate. When you click on generate, it goes ahead to just combine different fonts for you. And if you see that you can generate again, you can reduce the text size again. This is you, because you're a beginner. If you want to, you can come down here and then just go ahead to what generate. And if you want to know the name of the font that is being displayed, this is the font here. Can you see PT Sans, Muli for the what sub header, and then Pretty for the body text. I like these three fonts. So I'll go ahead to what generate one more time again, and then it's going to change the font again. This one now is what Gabin condensed. This is what different. Can you see the names? Can you see the names? So you can come down here, generate as much as you want. Just see the different fonts that are looking sharp and nice, and then you can just practice and use your font. So if you are finding it difficult to combine them, use either font pair, use what font share, or what font joy. Those I recommend, and they are on the design I'll be sending to they are on the flyer design I'll be sending to the group after now. So those are the ways you combine your fonts, and that is how we use them. Font pairing combine fonts that complement each other. Basically, they create a level of balance for you in your design. And then you can see them as what headlines, sub-headers, and what body text, right? Body text are readable size, medium width size, and then headers are what large and bold most of the time.